So the first Falcon and Winter Soldier episode is out, and it's impressive yet disappointing. It breaks the usual Marvel formula, yet submits to it when it's convenient. Yeah, it's fairly complicated. Let's cue the intro. Okay, disclaimer time. Most of this video will have clips from trailers and promos and stuff, and it might not sync with what I'm saying, but I do hope that you guys get a coherent idea of my thoughts. It's also gonna have a ton of spoilers. Now let's cue the intro. The first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier manages to cover a lot of character development while also accommodating two unnecessarily long action scenes, all in under 47 minutes. Now, while this isn't the gold standard of storytelling, we rarely get to see long scenes and have multiple character interactions to further our understanding of our characters' motivations, ideals, and life outside the hero world. Sam wants to save the world, but in this episode, he's just trying to save his parents' restaurant, while constantly getting pushback from his sister. Now, his sister is one of the best things to see on this episode, and she really provided a strong and compelling opposition to how Sam thinks. While Sam is an idealist, his sister is a realist, and watching their interactions and constant conflicting views was really interesting. Sam and his sister's relationship is also hella layered, and we're slowly given information as to why Sarah is so against Sam. She was blipped, she's a widow, she's had to raise two children on her own, and the restaurant hasn't made money in a while. And while Sam was out fighting monsters and aliens, this was the fight she was fighting. And now that she knows that it's not working out, she's finally coming to terms with the reality of it. This is good storytelling, with layers being unraveled slowly and steadily while setting up the conflict between them the first time both of them interact. Bucky, on the other hand, is going through his own stuff. After being pardoned, he tries to make amends for all the shit that he did when he was a Hydra agent, and I'm glad that the show is focusing on our heroes as individuals first and a crime-fighting duo second. His scene with his therapist is one of the best scenes I've seen, and the editing works its magic with the camera cutting constantly to different angles when Bucky is talking about his mission, but goes to an extreme close-up when he's vulnerable and admits to his struggles about adjusting to life without a friend and being lonely. Now, I don't want to spoil too much, but his relationship with Yori, who's his neighbor, is something to look out for. It's endearing and shows that in the wake of his trauma, it's not like Bucky is the cliche reclusive loner. He can and does form meaningful relationships, but still feels alone and can't seem to find the peace he had after all this fighting. Coming to this episode's flaws, the opening Falcon action scene was very long and unnecessarily in the wrong place. Between Sam getting ready to give his speech for Captain America and to him actually giving it, I actually forgot that that is a plot point because that action scene goes on for that long. And my main issue is that it has no direct relevance to the plot. Winter Soldier 2 had a long fight scene in its opening, but it tied into the narrative of the movie and thus made sense. This fight scene was so choppy and unnecessarily complicated that even if there was something important happening in it, the movie exhausted me so much that I didn't pay attention. Another flaw was the sort of villain reveal which fell a bit flat. Now, I don't know enough about the character involved, let alone the villain, so I didn't really care about it. And not just does it tell me more about the character involved, nor does it tell me anything about the villain. So it just felt like it goes on for a bit too long and is only relevant in the final 5 minutes of the episode. All in all, the first episode was a drama rather than a superhero flick, and I love that. I hope the series follows up with these side characters and arcs and doesn't haphazardly rush them towards the end once our heroes get caught up in the hero stuff. The series has time on its hand. It has time to develop characters, to set up and execute arcs slowly, explore internal dilemmas and non-hero conflicts through personal interactions. I just hope it uses this time wisely.
Just blink, sweet Jesus.
Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If I just get to the point. Hopefully I'll be doing an entire series on each episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So stay tuned, leave a comment below and do subscribe to my channel.